Good morning. Today is Wednesday, and I had an unexpected day off work, of school, because of snow. So I decided to go back to Lavender Fields, which is a book that I hold very dearly in my heart. I couldn't tell you why exactly, but I do. And I'm going to read you an excerpt from the book, from more specifically from one of the first chapters called Trouble. And I would show you video, but I have not really got completely dressed today. I'm still in my PJs and I haven't put any makeup on, so I refuse to be viewed in public right now. So I hope you enjoy it. Trouble. If you think angels never get angry, you've never met Gabriel. His face, normally peaceful and pale, was a visceral shade of red, and I could swear I saw smoke coming out of his ears. He leaned over, gripping the sides of his desk so fiercely I thought his knuckles were going to explode. "You went too far this time, Sky." Spittle flew out of his mouth, and his eyes bulged out as if trying to escape their sockets. "It's bad enough that you have showered the angelic core with all kinds of indignities, thanks to a total lack of common sense or respect for our laws. I've had many tongue lashings in the past, but this one was turning out to be a real doozy. My face burned, though whether from shame or frustration, I couldn't tell. I leaned back on my chair and felt my wings retract on their own, as if even they were afraid of this furious archangel. "Twice in the past 6 months, we've had to repair your broken wings. Twice." His voice was lowered to a threatening whisper. "Do you know how hard it is to repair angel wings? Do you know all that it involves? Of course you do. You just don't care." His voice, deceptively mild now, made me quiver in my shoes. 3 weeks ago, you practically caused a national panic when you were spotted flying low over Boothbay Harbor. What in heaven's name possessed you to do such a stupid thing? I bit my tongue to prevent myself from answering. It was the thrill of the thing, the amazing feeling of the wind under my wings, the cold ocean air making my face tingle and my eyes water. It was exhilarating. Earlier this year, you were featured in the news in Portland as a UFO when you were reckless enough to hover over the bay during a full moon. I remember that one well. My shock at seeing my glowing wings in a thankfully fuzzy photograph, both in the newspaper and on television, was quickly replaced by a sense of amusement. UFO indeed. I had been called many things before, but that was a first. Of course, Gabriel had not been amused. And now, the witch coven on Squirrel Island has been holding special ceremonies, making offerings to the fallen angel they found napping on their private beach. His thin lips stretched even thinner, and his voice went up several octaves as he stared me down with those laser eyes of his. "Enough is enough, Sky. You're not a fledgling any longer. As a full-grown angel, you must be aware of our safeguards at every moment. They exist for a reason. They protect both the core and the humans." With my head lowered for effect, I bit my lip again, not sure how I was going to get out of this one. Trouble seemed to follow me, I knew. I wasn't mischievous, just clumsy and a bit impulsive. Sometimes I wished there was some sort of ADHD medicine for angelic creatures, so I could get a little help controlling my crazy instincts. "And now, the cherry on top of the ice cream," Gabriel said. "You go and save a human from his fate? Let me remind you what your job is, my son. You are an angel of death. You collect the souls of the departed and escort them to heaven. That's it. You're not allowed to have a say in whichever fate befalls your charges. No choice at all. What made you think it was okay to prevent this man's death? What madness could have possibly crossed your weak little brain to make you do something so stupid? Answer me." He was yelling now, and even though I didn't look, I was sure there were quite a few curious eyes and ears perking up behind the glass-like curtain that partitioned his office. What could I say? That I had fallen in love with a mortal I didn't even know until a half an hour before his death? That I couldn't bear the thought of losing him so shortly after I found him? That his eyes had me under a spell that rendered me incapable of intelligent decisions? After all, being an angel meant feeling everything 100-fold, stronger and faster. In spite of that, these answers wouldn't have gone down well with the enraged and by now purple archangel. What do you have to say for yourself? He wouldn't stop until I said something. Anything. Not that he believed anything I said, or that it would make a difference on how he felt about me and my actions. But he was used to being obeyed. And the fact that I was blatantly disobeying his order had to be chaffing him big time. Speak! It didn't seem right. My voice came out in a whisper. I was afraid of raising my eyes to him, so I kept him securely on my hands, anchored on my lap. What did you say? His voice boomed like thunder in the quiet of the night. Speak up! I did raise my eyes then. Shaking inside, I felt the familiar burn of injustice scorching my being. I was all about being fair and just. All angels were by definition, but we were also creatures bound by our own rules and by those who had authority over us. I had a lot of trouble following those rules sometimes. If anything remotely smelled of wrongdoing, I couldn't bring myself to do it. My whole being rebelled against it, and that's how I got myself in constant trouble. I had never done anything as serious as this, though. For an angel in the death squad like me, saving the man I was supposed to guide into eternity was a huge no-no. Well, and that's it for now. If you would like to read more, you know where to find my book, Lavender Fields by Natalina Reis. It's on all over Amazon, iTunes, Nook, Kobo, you name it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to hear your opinion. What did you think about it? Please comment below. Thank you. And if you have a snow day like me, happy snow day.